Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and today I have a DIY kit for you. This is by the Will for God's DIY suitcase journal that came or was released alongside the Come Away kit, just released yesterday. So I am putting mine together, but I am not making it a suitcase. I decided not to. I just want it to be a nice sturdy board book. And so I have these board book covers, and I'm putting the center spine down on some of this Tyvek. Now this is going to make that spine nice and sturdy. Also, if you have cocoina glue or score tape, those are great tapes to use as you're putting this together. However, I did not have any in my stash, and so you'll see me using this Fabri-Tac glue, which works just fine, but it is definitely pretty messy. So just know that that's going to happen when you make this book if you decide to use Fabri-Tac. Also, cocoina glue is pretty messy too. But score tape isn't. So if you have that, grab it and use it. But Fabri-Tac glue will work just fine. So I'm cutting it down just an inch off these papers from the paper pack. So it'll be I believe it is it's usually 6 by 8. So I think I did 5 by 8. Yeah, that would be it. Anyways, so I am cutting that down, and I'm going to glue each side to, the perspective front and back cover. And I'm kind of scoring that or moving it nicely kind of around the edge so that paper doesn't crack and it folds nicely. So I'm just kind of using my fingernails. Also have this little score knife that I'm using. And then I'm going to cut off the edges. So when I fold them in, it's going to create a nice tight fold. Now here you'll see I get super messy, but I don't really care. I mean, messy isn't going to hurt me, and so I decided to just go along with this Fabri-Tac glue. Now I definitely need more Fabri-Tac glue. You've heard that in millions of videos in the past, but I'm just trying to get rid of the rest of the glue in this tube. I actually had to cut the tip off a little bit because it was just being too finicky with me, but you'll see I kind of clean up the edges with my fingers just by rubbing that extra glue off. And I am going to be covering this, so it doesn't really matter too much. That glue is just oozing everywhere. But anyways, I'm getting this all folded in, and then we're going to work on the spine section. So I've decided to use this pink gingham for the front and back cover, and then I have this really beautiful embroidered floral kind of piece for the spine. Now, if you notice, when I get back to the book, there's a little mark in the upper left-hand corner. I just touched it. I'm trying to see what it was. I think it's actually the ink from the paper reacting with the Fabri-Tac glue. I think I get it because I did get it all over my desk. When I used that Fabri-Tac glue, that ink kind of reacted, and so it got on my desk. I cleaned it up, but I think it kind of smeared a little bit on the back cover. So like I said, we're just going to make it the back cover. I didn't know if I wanted the back cover or not, but that little swipe of ink wouldn't come off with anything. So it's okay though. So I'm again using this Fabri-Tac glue. I'm making sure that paper is scored in the creases so that it also bends just fine as I fold that book in. And then I'm going to come in and use this ledger paper for my inner sheets kind of. So I love this ledger paper because it's big enough to cut it down that I don't have to use multiple pieces of paper for this, and it's nice and thin, so it's already going to bend easily as well. So cutting this with my little paper cutter, and then I will glue this in. I do decide to use my Barely Arts glue to glue in this piece just because that ledger paper is pretty thin, and so I don't want that Fabri-Tac glue showing through it. So I'm going to go section by section because the Barely Arts glue dries really fast, and so I want to make sure that it doesn't dry before I have time to lay it down. Again, you'll see me scoring this paper, and we will get this all laid down, and then we will turn to working on what's going inside and also my cover. Okay, so for the inside, the kit comes with 8 folders. However, I'm only going to use 6 of them. It comes with a green set too, but I didn't have any green in my covers, so I decided to just keep it with the tan, blue, and pink. And we're gonna just wrap this string around actually 7 times because I just did it as many times as the string would hold. Your string, if you get the DIY kit, will be a little bit longer, but this one is just long enough for 7 folders, but don't worry. So for your kits, you'll be good. Mine is long enough to hold 7 folders, and I'm just gonna wrap this around, like I said, 7 times, and then tie the 2 ends together. So I started on the outside and I'm ending on the outside, and I'm tying those together in a knot. I can move these strings, out and in, and also move the knot up and down wherever I want it. So you saw me move that right there. And now we're gonna slip in these file folders. Now I know Mindy does this a lot, and she is like the queen of making books and junk journals. So if you want, you can see her do it, but it's very simple, and I've actually never done this before, this spine, and I am so surprised on how easy it is, so I'll probably do it in the future. So for my little decoration for my front cover, I have this little jean pocket that came in the ephemera part of the kit, and I'm poking with my needle little holes so I can thread some embroidery floss through them. So I'm just doing this one pink floral and making sure it has some texture, because the more texture the better with my projects. I will tie that up. I'm also going to glue this onto the front of my board book, so I could use it as a pocket if I wanted to, but I don't have anything stuffed in there right now. So I'm just going to use some Barely Arts liquid glue and run that around. But first off, I forgot, I did add some yellow beads to the center of each one of those florals. Now I thought about threading the beads through, but I was kind of too lazy to do that. And so I just grabbed my Fabri-Tac glue again and put those on the floral pieces. Okay, so now I'm coming back to my Barely Arts glue. I'm going to make that line just around the outside of the pocket, leaving the top open so I could use it if I wanted to. And I'm going to smush that down in the center of this page. And then I decided to come in with these mini tile alphas and just spell the kit name with them, Come Away. So I will put that there. And then to finish this up, I don't show you the whole process because it just took forever. It's very simple, but I just added some beads to the strings on the spine. It was very finicky because the beads were tiny and the string didn't really want to go in. So I tried multiple things, but ultimately just decided on 3 beads per each string. That's as much patience as I had. And then guys, this little board book will be complete. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. I'll try to link everything I use down below in the comments. Those are affiliate links, so thank you so much for using those, and I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.